What's up guys, it's Shire talking, welcome back to my channel. On today's video, I'll be talking about the two newly announced banners for Romancing SaGa Universe. The first one being Romancing Festival Matriarch. We have here one new character added because they are spreading past banners into many of the new ones. And there is also Romancing Festival Acelus that also has a new character from SaGa Soul. Okay, we will be doing a preview of this first banner because Matriarch is a very popular character. Everyone wants to know if she's good or not. And let's go straight out to Romancing SaGa Universe Reddit and a post by Hands43. As always, thank you for this amazing job. Matriarch is a spear user again, and she is now a damage dealer. For sure. We have good status, 120% STR, not really that high, but good enough. 110% endurance, 120% will, very good follows, and 115% agility. She has some fast skills, but even then, if you are using her with other fast attackers, it's better for her to go first. Now, battle begins, she starts the fight with 12 VP, but she doesn't really need. Her price skill is 10 VP. She has a passive called Battle Talent that is actually applied to everyone on the start of the battle. Battle Talent will increase your damage output by 20%. If you resist an attack, you decrease damage taken by 30%, and then you have a 12% chance to evade. This is permanent and will work for everyone. The evasion chance is just there because 12% is not reliable, but there's something interesting. You can actually apply this again via skill number 2. For 10 VP, you can use a fast skill, pierce and some damage, that before attacking she casts Battle Talent, so you still get that 20% damage increase included, and then attack. Okay, so if you have BP generation, you can actually keep casting this every turn to have 2 stacks of minus 30% damage when resisting. Matriarch has recover when she attacks for around 301 extra BP. Well, when she lands attacks, she will then be buffing all status for everyone by 5% only. But then when she attacks, she always chases with Glinting Troll. This Glinting Troll is 1 or 2 hit attack with just B power that can apply defense down to the enemy. Then we have 50% chance to chase with Ritual of Wisdom. This is a triple S power attack that can give 1 BP to everyone. And also White Spear, a 3 hit attack with deep power that will also give you an attack boost of 10% damage increase on each hit. 3 hits of deep power, you get as much as 30% damage increase. This is the same skill that she has with her past style. So if you use this as inheritance, you can still have a chance to chase. Now, she has 40% damage increase at all times, and then 30% damage reduction at all times to herself as well. Skill number 1 is free and applies defense boost of small effect to all allies. This decreases damage taken by 15%, but it's just for that turn, but it's also something that you can do for free. You always prefer to use skill number 2 because you need to cast this every turn to have the second stack of the first Battle Talent. But you can also use skill number 3, that is a triple S power attack, Piercing Sun, that recovers HP by probably 2000. The thing here is, we don't have many defense boosters for spears when we're talking about Remembrance. And versus the Megalith Dragon, she may actually help with those 2 stacks of minus 30% damage. If you want to use her as a full-time damage dealer, you could inherit White Spear from the past style, but I don't think it's so important. She is actually self-sustainable. The more she chases, the more she buffs all status, but she can also just be here to decrease damage taken and act as a damage dealer. She is essentially the upgrade of Alkaiser past style, but Alkaiser has Glory Force that gives you 50% damage reduction via Guard Up and a 50% damage increase via Morale Up. And that is useful because it can recharge every 5 turns, while Alkaiser can still keep using another defense boost and do damage. Well, we are living the new advent of Sun squads because of the newest Empress, so using Empress together with Matriarch in Leon or Shire will be very, very useful. If you are collecting those units, it's a good idea to pull for Matriarch, although I'll have to say that she's not meta. It's the first style that won't have a big impact in the game. She works, but she is not really required. If you don't have gens, it's okay to skip this version of Matriarch, in my opinion. Especially if you have the characters I mentioned and you already have someone like Katarina that can also do a lot to the party. But the good thing is that we have Sun, and Sun is still lacking new damage dealers. She will probably receive a 4 out of 5 in my new grading system. But, well, if you care about remembrance, it's a good pull anyway. The next one is Maria, and she has now 105% endurance and 125% with very good values for a character that is support. Love and charisma are also very high. Well, she doesn't really need to attack, she's a character that just stays there using support skills. But see, she has 30% damage reduction towards herself. And another one. Also, by the end of a turn, she will recover 2 BP, clear all allies from darkness, sleep, paralyze, and petrify. This is all the ailments that were not included on New's latest style, so you can use for those different fights. It's a free cleanse, it's nice. And she also recovers HP by around 350. Oh, Maria has a skill number 2 that is full support, and it has this Blessing Light. Blessing Light is something that will give you a 50% attack boost, a 50% defense boost that will decrease damage taken by 50%. That's amazing. It's even more important than the attack boost. And they will also get 2 BP and recover very small HP healing by the end of turn. Okay, besides, she will also cast this Heat Up. That increases damage potential for the whole fight by 10%. And then a defense up that decreases damage taken by 5% as well. Those will last for the whole fight. So, look, if you want to start the fight, you can cast this. You can only use it 2 times, since it lasts for 4 turns, where it will be triggering all of the attack boost and the defense boost and 2 BP. Use it on turn 1, then use it again on turn 5 or 6. You can also use this one after another. It means that you have effects stacked, but eventually they will just be gone. Depends if the fight can be cleared in 5 turns, use it one after another, and then you have like part of the offense of Shire for free, but they cannot last for the whole fight. Okay, besides that, we will have a fast skill that can debuff SGR, Dexterity, Agility, and Intelligence from the enemies by 20% if you level up to max, and will also buff Endurance, Will, Love, and Charisma to all allies by 30%. It's nice because it's fast, but it doesn't do damage, it's full support, and in fights where the enemy will clear your buffs on the start of turn, this is useful because it will just reapply some buffs so that your characters can reduce damage taken and reduce chance of being inflicted with ailments. If you already have the other effects from the Blessing Light, you're totally going to survive well. The bad part's that after she uses Blessing Light, the only skill that really matters is this one. But after you use 2 times Blessing Light, you still have the 2 very small healing by the end of turn active for the whole fight. So that's like 350 HP healing by the end of turn. It can get stronger if you buff Love and Charisma. If you have 2 very small healing by the end of turn, it's like half a Stubly Light healing. That's okay in my book. And it's new to global. So, the skill number 1 is also free and can cover HP for all allies, so that you have 3 very small healing if you want to go for full healing setup. But this character was designed for remembrance mainly. She is very useful there. You can inherit from her passive style either an AoE heal plus evasion or a skill that deals damage and buffs all status. But this third skill is good enough if you need to buff. If you don't need to buff, you should just use whatever you want. Now, you can also use her on real hard challenges because of that skill number 2. Like I said, it will amplify your damage by 100% if you use 2 times, and then you will decrease damage taken by so much that you really will be able to use more damage dealers. You can drop Shire in fights that last just up to 8 turns if you want, or use Shire together. He will also work well, but he doesn't attack. It's just a way to allow other damage dealers to be used. And well, she's club. It's a nice investment because she will work on remembrance nonetheless. I think she just needed a damage attack because some of our characters need us to attack in order to get effects, like Katarina, like for example Matriarch, buffer style. So not being able to attack will not trigger some effects. But a very useful style as well that can replace either Leon or Shire in some compositions and will help a lot on remembrance. I believe she will receive at least a 4 out of 5 in my new grading system as well. Moving on, we have fake Gusta. They buffed his STR, now having 133%, endurance is 100, will is 110. He still has intelligence because he can debuff via inheritance, but it's not really required. Agility is 100%, it's not really needed, but let's see what this guy has to offer. First of all, he has a risky setup. He will remove 10% of all allies besides self HP by start of turn. Only for 5 turns though. Because of that, he will get this weak heat up that increases weak damage output by 50% for a total of 250. He starts the fight with 14 BP, and he will also give himself 1 more BP by the end of turn. So he will eventually reach 8 BP generation per turn. That is super important to his own build. When he lands an attack, he recovers his own HP by around 300. He will then also self-buff SGR, Endurance, and Will, the status that he wants, by 15%. And every time that he attacks, he changes with skill number 3. Okay, so skill number 3 is amazing because it has 4 hits with C power. When you use 2 attacks of C power, it equals something like a high triple S attack. It's like we're getting 2 free chases of triple S power by having this low point of 10% damage to all allies besides self. Then we also have this weak heat up 4 times for another 200% damage increase, alongside another 40% damage increase at all times. So this character reaches as much as 490% increase in damage output, alongside a 30% damage reduction. But this character can actually get lots and lots of defense, because skill number 2 is actually the best one, because this one is a 4S power attack. It is Slash and Shadow, so he works pretty well with Saruin, for example. He will recover HP of all surviving allies by probably around 1.2 thousand. Then he will chase with Twilight Flash. That is a double S power attack with Slash and Shadow again, and it hits a row. He was made to be used on the newest challenge for Spiral Corridor 270. So after that, you're still going to chase again with 3 hits of C power. Remember that every time you attack, you'll be buffing your SGR, Endurance, and Will, so that equals 45% buff, just because you're using this, so every new attack does more damage. And you are recovering, you are doing damage, and the Twilight Flash attack has both an attack and a defense boost, so he is going to take less and less damage, and defense boost cannot be removed, just like attack boosts. He has this skill number 1 that hits 2 times with E power, that equals, I don't know, probably a double S power attack at this point with triple S weapons. And it's just a filler attack. You should not be using the skill number 3, in my opinion, unless you are just finishing a boss, because this one will actually be always activated via chase. So you can inherit a skill that can debuff if you desperately need, but he's not really a good debuffer. I just believe that he tries to take the role of a healer and strong damage dealer. His damage will be similar to the newest version of Leon and a little lower than Tatiana. And we got some new styles, the RG Swords, but Fake Gustave may still have a place in the meta. The problem is that he does not offer anything else to the party, he's just damage and healing. But pretty strong as well. I believe he deserves a 4 out of 5 too. Moving on, we have Sephra. She is pretty different, 122% STR, 100% Endurance, and 110% Will, alongside 115% Agility for very fast speed. She starts with 12 VP to use all of her skills if she wants. She then gives this 50% increase to all slash damage on the party, and also a defense up that is restricted. It will only reduce 30% damage to indirect attacks, but it's permanent, it's very nice. On turn begins, she buffs all of her status by 15%, and when she attacks, she always chases with Moonfall / Plus, that is an A power attack. She then has a 50% chance to chase with Heaven and Earth, that is an S power attack. Then a 37% chance to chase with Doppelgangers Plus, that is a triple S power attack, and 25% chance to chase with Multi / Plus, that is an attack that hits between 1 to 12 times. That is a lot, but RNG says that the average will be 6 hits. So if you have good RNG, you're gonna do a lot of damage, and she works super well with other buffers and characters that give attack boost. Also, when all allies are alive, her own damage increases by 30%, and also resist damage taken is decreased by 40. But that is just to herself. Her only party effect is that defense up. Moving on to skills, she has this free skill that will give her 4 BP. Can use it 4 times, but also applies Phantom to self. That is a 25% chance to evade, and she can cast this 4 times if she wants. Of course, she will not be attacking in those situations, but it's 4 chances to evade. I don't know if you really just desperately need this, because she already resists this a lot, but if you want, you can have. The extra VP can help later, because the second skill is free. Before attacking, she buffs STR by 25% and then attacks with deep power, or you can use a third skill, 12 VP cost, that attacks randomly 4 times, with a slash attack boost that will be buffing attack of slash damage by 20 or 25% if you max for 2 turns for all allies with each attack. So actually she can buff 100% slash damage, and if she is capable of using this again on the next turn, for every turn, well, she will increase slash damage by 200%. This really helps Kihachi if they are on the same party. And she also recovers HP now that this is desperately needed. So after attacking, she would chase at least once and have a chance of chasing with multiple other attacks. Well, Sephra is yet another good style. The problem is that she is a sword, and I don't think we need more sword users for remembrance. There are way too many good ones already. But she works and can even be used on hard challenges if you want, because of that defense up versus indirect attack. This is just, you know, a free Mystic Line formation buff. So, well, this banner is good. I'm thinking about a Gold Linus award, just because all styles here have an utility. They can all be used. None are meta. I will say that Matriarch and Maria will be better for remembrance. They will have a better impact there, while they can still be used for hard challenge nonetheless. Fake Gustave is good and all, but he is easier to replace, although very strong damage dealer. Sephra is good and all, but she's a sword user, and what she does is okay, but can also be found in other characters in the future. So overall, good banner to pull if you have gens, but if you don't have gens, it is still better to pull on Leon banner if you still have time. Honor and Press is very useful together with Matriarch, so if you want to invest here, it's okay. You can also wait. This banner will last for 2 weeks, and anniversary is coming. The other banner has a little less value, but has 2 very good units as well. I'll be discussing in tomorrow's video, but for now, this is my first impressions. What are yours? Please say here in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't. I hope to see you soon in the next video or live stream. Goodbye.